Welcome to Music is a Day Job, brought to you by the Concert app, the artist accelerator that takes artists from opener to headliner to on tour and gives the fan the opportunity to see some of the best entertainment independently in the world. I'm your host, Sean, aka King Tef. I am the CEO of Concert, and this is Music is a Day Job, where you make music your day job. So, today's topic that I've been asked to talk about is quality versus quantity. And now this exists in what I use it in are the three realms: music, content, and shows. Um, Very debatable because people will say, like, when you lower the quality and you do quantity, some people see it as a money play or just putting out just tons of music just to put it out, and it lacks its quality, so it's not great music. But then on the other end, you have people who put out quality and it takes them forever, and it can take forever and forever, and then they become perfectionists that never release any music, and so no one knows them. When you take quality versus quantity, to me, it's a very, like, you have to balance it in today's society because of people's um I guess you can say attention span. You need more. It seems like quantity kind of is taking over because people's attention span has become lower. So I always say musically, I've been bad at it because I'm like on the quality edge of, like, music wise. Like, I never released a bunch of music, and I have a bunch of music, but I never released because I get into the space in my mind like, man, this is trash. This isn't the best I could do, and a lot of times that has also hindered me because on the other end, I've never released a bunch of music. So people who, like, do look for Spotify plays, that when they release tons of quantity and everything gets played like 1,000 times a day, then they make more money because they have more music available and people actually listen to it. And so sometimes the argument to me is that who really knows what the quality is? Because some people can think something's quality and you might think something else is quality. And then the thing you don't think is quality might pop off. I've had that with a couple of my songs that I thought, oh, hey, this song's trash to me. And then that was the song that did numbers for us. So that's a fight that I always face with, like, music wise. Then you have content wise, which with content, it's one of those things that I feel like you can just shoot content out. Like, you can shoot quantity amounts of content out and let people see tons of different things and kind of gauge what you want to keep up. Now, some people are very meticulous with their, like, social platforms. And so they're very like, I have to have this quality, like, picture, and this has to be up and stuff like that. And I'm making an aesthetic. And then it can help you in the forms of telling a story with a rollout, but then on the other ends, people aren't seeing you enough. So then knowing your story or who you are, having that humanization of this person's a human just like me and connecting to them on something other than their artistic point of view, then becomes hard to do because you can't really just build any, like, connection with the person outside of your artistic view. So then you can't get any other consumers. And that really only works for, like, artists that are in the music business because they're able to just give you that little bit of content of them and you feel that mysteriousness. But it's because it's so many people, because their quantity of fans, they then are able to pull back and do stuff like that. Then so then I, on the content, I more believe in quantity because I feel like you can just constantly put out, and then if it doesn't work, you can pull back because it's something else outside of your, like, I guess, your main purpose. Like, if my main purpose is music, my content that I put out, like, as far as my freestyles and pictures and everything like that, I can do tons of because I don't want anyone to expect me to be perfect in this area. I think I could be able to play with tons of different things so I can attach to people and make people feel some type of way. As far as shows, quality or quantity, that's a double-edged sword too, because the quality of shows that you do, you have to keep your quality shows, and then you have to keep your quantity of shows. So where quality some people will wait for one show and then you can't live off one show. So to me, I've always wanted to live off music. So then I knew my space to live off music was in shows. It wasn't in the actual getting a deal or having tons of streams or anything like that. I wasn't good at any of that, but I was good at doing shows. So I knew if I could do so many shows per year that I could live off of it. And I do like my main city probably 4 to 5 to 6 times a year. And so versus that some people be like, man, I'm doing one show this year here, but then unless you have like 50 states to run, it's like, how can you live off that if you're just doing one show in one spot, So then the quantity, you have to have the quantity of shows, but then you also have the quality, which are the ones that I thought were like the big shows. Like I do the summer jams and I do the big shows that I would have where I'd be a headliner at like 1,000-person venue or whatnot. But then on the other end, I would also do some club shows over the year. I also would do some featured shows on other people, other independent artist shows and stuff like that. And so that's where I would kind of mix it, because on the other end, when you think about like doing just quantity of shows, it can also be bad for you, because I see artists that do quantity of shows without a blueprint of how they're going to be successful or how they're going to make money. And they just do every show that pops up for them. And when you just do every show that pops up for you, what happens is you oversaturate yourself and then you have no direction. That's why I built Concert, is because you can have direction with Concert. Like you can be like, I want to do this show, and I'll be like, hey, do this show, and then I'll just give you advice and kind of be like, yo, if you're trying to break into another market, start looking to build into another market. Get into that next market and start building your shows, and then you have 2 cities, or then you have 3 cities, and then you're moving around every few months and you're doing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and you're just starting to expand and getting to become a headliner in different cities, versus the idea of just staying in that one city and just doing tons of shows in that one city. I watch artists do that all the time and they just oversaturate and fall off. So they're just doing like tons of shows, which none of it matters. Most promoters or anything like that don't care about what you do. They just want that one night that you're going to do the tickets. And that's it. They don't want to help you get to the next city or figure out a blueprint for your plan. And that's why we built this, is because I'm trying to help people build a blueprint for themselves so they can get from city to city and move place to place. So understanding quality versus quantity in those 3 categories, music, content, and shows, is very important. Back to the music piece, I would also say that music, it's very debatable of how you do this. Like if you give your fans quality in like your main releases, but then you do quantity as in mixtape level stuff, freestyles and everything like that, that can build your quantity. So you can say that you can have that, well, this might not be the best quality, but I wanted to give that out to y'all because it's like a different style, or it's a different sound, or it's me on a nationals beat or something like that. And so then you can do more quantity. Also with content, with music videos, very debative too, because now you can make short version videos, word videos, and everything like that can make you build quantity up and then still keep the quality for your main videos. And so it's very like you can do both. And that's how I kind of feel with all of this, is like understanding the quality and quantity so you can do both, and being able to separate each of those so you can be like, hey, this is what is the quality thing I'm releasing, and then the quantity I'm doing to just stay involved and keeping people involved, and being like, hey, this is just some artistic stuff that I just want to put out there so y'all can see and y'all can participate in. Have all those in all 3 different aspects, and then you can keep moving forward. One of the things that I also like to balance with this, like as I was saying, is like pick what is the quantity and what's the quality. So then when you understand, like have a set version, so you can be like, okay, like when I release music like this is quality, like this sound and this, but then this, when I do stuff like this is the quantity that I'm just going to kick out, and I think your fans need some of both. So pay attention to those. Once again, quality and quantity in music, content, and shows. Understanding those and being able to balance those are very important. Some people may disagree with me because some people are just pure quality. Like everything you release has to be through the best studio, through the best mixers, through the best. And how does that work for you? I don't know. I know some people in the past, in the 90s, that worked for, because the world didn't have as much competition, nor did the world have as much like ability for anyone to make whatever they want to make. But now, these days and age, when everyone can just make it on their computer, on their phone, or whatever like that, you have to compete at that same level. Because I watch people, even with the content, everything's shot on this like red camera, black magic camera, and everything like that, and then they miss out on the things that's shot on the phone because they don't want to make a TikTok. They don't want to make any of that stuff. So then they end up missing out on those times to connect with their consumer. And same with shows. As I said, I know some artists that wait for their one time they come out a year, and then they have their like they'll only do national shows. Hey, then you don't make money. Like, that's what this really is like. And so at the end of the day, understanding that balance is important. So once again, last time I'm gonna say it, music content and shows, understand quantity versus quality.